What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to another episode of The Drop. And this week is a pretty awesome week for video game releases. Now, I want to make myself very clear in saying that this is a big week, not in the way that you might have a Battlefield or a Call of Duty coming out, but there are a lot of awesome smaller games coming out, a lot of which I'm excited about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So to kick things off, we have Pillars of Eternity, the Complete Edition, coming to the PlayStation 4. Pillars of Eternity, the ultimate role-playing experience on PC, comes to PlayStation 4 this fall. Created by and for role-playing fans by Obsidian Entertainment, the masters of the RPG genre, Pillars started as a Kickstarter project where it shattered all funding goals and pulled in more than 75,000 backers. From there, it was released to broad critical acclaim, won dozens of awards, and has been a fan favorite on the PC. Now, Paradox Arctic has adapted this unmissable RPG for an entirely new audience on major consoles, bringing Pillars' fantastic world, tactical combat, and unforgettable story to fans on a whole new platform. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition includes all previously released additional content from the PC version, including all DLC and expansions in a single package. So Pillars of Eternity is a game that I have personally heard a lot about being in the PC gaming community, but not one that has really ever appealed to me because I'm not that into RPGs, though it is, like the description said, a very critically acclaimed game that is coming to the PlayStation 4. The developers want to make it very clear that this is not just a rehashed bundle for the PlayStation 4. This game has been built from the ground up to run very well on consoles overall, which means there has been an entirely new user interface created, an entirely new control scheme created specifically for the consoles, meaning the game is going to play like it is right at home. As we all know, if a game comes from consoles to PC or from PC to consoles, there can sometimes be some wires crossed that make a different experience overall, and control schemes can be a big part of that. But they want to make it very clear, like I said, that Pillars of Eternity is not going to be one of those botched jobs. So if you are interested in the unmissable RPG experience, it is coming to the PlayStation 4 from the PC, where it had a fantastic run later on this week. Next up, we have Life is Strange Before the Storm coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Now, I want to make it clear, this is episode 1 coming out this week, with episodes 2 and 3 coming out at later dates. But Life is Strange Before the Storm features Chloe Price, a 16-year-old rebel who forms an unlikely friendship with Rachel Amber, a beautiful and popular girl destined for success. When Rachel's world is turned upside down by a family secret, it takes their newfound alliance to give each other the strength to overcome their demons. For those that know me and stick around the channel for a while, you will know that this does not sound like anything that I would normally be interested in. However, Life is Strange was included with my PlayStation Plus subscription a couple of months back, so I figured, why not download it, give it a shot. I'm not normally into episodic story-based content, but I decided to go ahead and dive in and see what all of the fuss was about, because it had been getting some, awards and notable mentions throughout the course of the past couple of months before I even played it. Let me just say that Life is Strange is the first episodic game that I have ever played that has genuinely gotten me interested in the story to the point that I am invested and have to continue playing to see what happens to these people, because I actually care about the characters. That is not something that is easy to get me to do. It's hard to get me to care about anything, let alone characters. So Before the Storm actually has 3 episodes that take place before the main game that I've been talking about, and so it gives a bit of background information for existing players while also working as a prequel, so that it does give a pretty good entry point for people that are just now getting into Life is Strange overall. So whether you are going back and seeing what happened before the events of the first game, or if you are going to go ahead and jump in for the first time, it does give you a pretty good foundation and a continuing story that makes a pretty good segue into the main game itself. If you have not played Life is Strange, do yourself a favor and please invest some time into playing that. If you have played Life is Strange, then Before the Storm is coming out this week, and then back to those of you that have not played it, Before the Storm is just as good an entry point as any, so you can go ahead and jump in there. It just depends on how you want to experience the game. Next up, we have Dead Alliance coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC, and there wasn't really a good write-up for this game, so what I'm going to read is kind of like a just big jumble of descriptive sentences that kind of give you an idea of what the game is, and then I'll kind of give you a breakdown of what I actually think it is. So, Dead Alliance, seize the dead. Think quick and strategically use zombies to distract, disable, and attack your opponents. Utilize a variety of Z mods, which are pretty much, different kinds of mods you can use on the zombies themselves, which include lures, pheromone grenades, and traps to get the zombies working for you. Play Titanid 4v4, capture and hold, King of the Hill, free for all, team deathmatch, and more. Fight off against endless hordes of ravenous zombies, unlocking new maps as you progress. Test your mettle against the undead and AI opponents across varied objectives. Capture your opponent's home base to win, maneuvering between lanes and a zombie jungle. Upgrade abilities and loadouts, building an arsenal of high-powered shotguns, rifles, crossbows, and more. Okay, so essentially this game combines elements of a competitive shooter with the thrill of a zombies horde shooter. So while you are playing an online competitive match, you are going to be able to use zombies to your advantage, while other players are trying to also lure zombies to you so that you either get taken out by your opponents or you get taken out by a zombie undead horde. Watching some gameplay of this, I'm not sure about the legs this game has. I'm not really sure if it's going to have a long-lasting appeal, but I love the concept of it, where you are pretty much using zombies to your advantage while also having to be terrified of them in the long run. It's one of those things where it's a really unique idea. I support unique ideas in the gaming industry, so I would definitely give Dead Alliance a look and see if you are interested in it, but as far as I go out and get it now, and you have to wait outside of GameStop at, 8 o'clock in the morning to get it, it's not really that kind of game, but it is definitely worth mentioning here on the drop because Dead Alliance is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC this week. Next up, we have Absolver coming to the PlayStation 4 and the PC. Absolver puts players behind the mask of a prospect who has taken a sacred vow and chosen to join the Absolvers, an elite corps of combatants fighting to maintain stability in the world. Monitored by the Guides, the new rulers of the fallen Adel Empire, players will wander these forsaken lands and encounter other prospects online in order to learn their place in this world and eventually become Absolvers. Along the way, they will learn new combat styles and attacks and acquire better weapons, powers, and armor. Battles between warriors are an intense real-time flow of attacks, dodges, feints, and counters, with all aspects of gameplay customizable, including combat styles, weapons, and even individual attack sequences in the player's combat deck. Build a team of warriors to fight side by side with you in the dungeons, which is PvE, or put your skill on display in dedicated combat arenas, PvP, scattered across the land. So this is a game that I've had my eye on for quite a while. It's pretty much a hand-to-hand combat simulator that does include some weapons that you can use, but all in all, it's a very simple kind of game that has a beautiful sound design, beautiful aesthetic, and art style. Absolver has something special about it that is definitely worth checking out. In addition to that, there is a ton of content here for the game, along with a lot of different ways that you can fight, so all of that combined makes for an extended period of time that keeps the content fresh. For instance, if you get tired of PvE, you can switch over to PvP. If you get tired of fighting one way, you can completely and totally master a different method of fighting and use different kinds of weapons and skills and combos, and you can even customize those yourself. There are tons of different ways to play Absolver that if you like what you are seeing within the trailer, then there are a lot of different ways to experience that, and that's pretty cool. I would definitely recommend checking out Absolver this week if you were going to check out any of the games that I've talked about here. And again, it's coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the PC, and I have seen some early access streams of it, so you can definitely check those out on twitch.tv. Next up, we have Redout coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Redout takes arcade racing classics like F-Zero, WipEout, and Roll Cage to the next level with uncompromising, fast, and satisfying driving experiences on the Unreal 4 engine. So now we're kind of setting the scene. 80-25-60. Earth has been stripped of its natural resources. Global warming caused the melting of the northern polar ice cap. Tropical storms ravage all areas that didn't suffer desertification, which is where, land becomes nothing but desert, as opposed to desertification. Pockets of humans are crawling their lives away in a few slums, descendants of those who were left behind or refused to leave. Others created huge cities based upon some of the most populous cities once on Earth. Most of humanity, though, has moved to the Moon, Mars, Titan, and other Saturn's moons. Earth is often used as a location for entertainment events like high-speed races, futuristic amusement parks, and zoo parks, which allows local communities to work and profit in a harsh environment. One of the most popular sports is the SRRL, the Solar Redout Racing League, the fastest racing league ever created, where humanity's best pilots drive high-speed anti-gravity ships on magnetic tracks, risking their lives at each and every corner in exchange for never-ending glory. Whoever whoever wrote this description is getting me pumped. They've made an entire backstory for a racing game. This is what I'm talking about, people. Some of the features we're talking about here: online multiplayer with up to 12 people, campaign with 93 different racing events, customization for ships with engines, magnets, structure, and energy, 25 tracks, 5 different locations scattered around the Earth, 10 event types, 6 racing teams, power-ups that change the gameplay throughout the match. There is a lot of content here within Redout. As somebody who adores these futuristic racing games, I am really excited to see how Redout actually does end up turning out. I'm especially interested in comparing the Switch versions of Fast RMX and Redout to each other and see how they perform, see how they play, and all of that good stuff, but Redout simply looks like a fantastic futuristic racing experience from my perspective. So if you are interested in Redout, again, it is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch this week, but also a side recommendation: if you are into this kind of game, I would highly recommend the Wipeout Omega Collection on the PlayStation 4, and also if you have a PlayStation Vita, Wipeout 2048 is a no-brainer. It is a fantastic game. Following that, we have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a game that got a lot of heat pre-E3, but then whenever people actually saw the gameplay, we were all kind of, wow, it looks good. The Mushroom Kingdom has been torn apart by a mysterious vortex, transporting the chaotic Rabbids in this once peaceful land. To restore order, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Yoshi must team up with a whole new crew, 4 Rabbids heroes. Together, they will battle with weapons through 4 worlds filled with combat, puzzles, and unpredictable enemies. Developed exclusively for the Nintendo Switch system, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the best of the Mario and Rabbids franchises, combining all that you love about Mario's iconic universe with the side-splitting antics of the Rabbids. Side-splitting is debatable. So essentially, for hardcore Mario fans, this game might not be the one for you. If you are, really restricted to the standard kind of Mario algorithm that nearly every other Mario game uses. However, if you are open to some new ideas, if you like the comedy that the Rabbids franchise brings into the mix, then you might be a fan of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I know the developer is incredibly passionate about it. He was crying at the conference. I felt so happy for him, but also felt so... it was very an emotional time for me, guys. Anyways, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is coming to the Nintendo Switch this week. It is promising to be one of the bigger games coming out on the Nintendo Switch this holiday season, so if you are interested in it, just know it is coming to your Switch this week. And to wrap things up, we have a very lengthy list of honorable mentions. So first off, we have The Elder Scrolls Online Horns of the Reach coming out on the PC. Axiom Verge Multiverse Edition is coming to the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. The Last Day of June, which is a very emotionally impacting game, is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the PC. ReCore Definitive Edition, a repackaged version of a now complete version of ReCore, is coming to the Xbox One and the PC. Killing Floor 2 is coming to the Xbox One. Fantastic zombies-esque shooter. If you like shooting mutants and zombies and that kind of thing, you might want to give it a shot. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, which is a DLC, is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Sonic Mania is coming to the PC. Great game. Digging it on my Switch. I wasn't good at it to start, but then I began to get better as I played more. And finally, last but not least, Ark Survival Evolved is finally seeing its full release after being early access for so long on PC, on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. That about wraps it up for this week's episode of The Drop, but I do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and if you did, drop me a like down below, and in the comments section, let me know what games that are coming out this week that you are excited for. Like I said, my personal pick is definitely Absolver. It just seems like it's something that's right up my alley, but if you happen to be new to my content, I do upload new stuff throughout the week, so there's always something new on my channel when you drop out of watching videos, so click that subscribe button, do the notification bells and whatnot, but I do want to, again, thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'm going to go make some Rice Krispie treats because I want some Rice Krispie treats. Peace.